blowing up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
Well, it is just the perfect time of year for a trip to the Carolinas, and that's where we find ourselves at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Detroit Lions and the Carolina Panthers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first down throw. Stafford. And incomplete to open things up. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Not the start they envisioned. Looks like a 3-and-out, and for a team that hasn't won a game in a while, that's tough.
And what we have to look out for and keep an eye on is the same thing that their coaches are doing, wanting to see if guys are going to get discouraged early and sag because of what's happened in the recent losing streak. Can they stay with it despite a tough first drive?
Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
So here come the Lions now. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Open man is Galladay, complete. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And right now, a lot to like on that screen. They've wrapped up the division, now currently sitting in the coveted number 2 spot. Of course, you'd love number 1, but if you can't have one, number 2 is pretty good.
I agree with you totally, and here's the other part, too. The really good teams, the really confident teams, they're not as worried about being number 1. 2 is fine because they feel like they can go on the road and win against number 1 if they absolutely have to. The big thing, though, is clinching one of those early buys and able to sit and get a little rest as the playoffs begin.
They go quickly here out to Moore. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 20. Touchdown, Carolina. DJ Moore, 77 yards. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down. How big that is.
And it coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And some room to work. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, and then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them. Big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Check nickel. He's coming. We got double up.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 16 yards, a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Cam Newton now with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Gano for the extra point.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 23 carries, 89 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
17-0 our score after 1.
180. Here we go, team. All day, defense, all day, all day.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 13 yards, 1st down, Panthers.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Newton on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All right, T. Great. Mike's 54.
The shotgun snap for Newton. And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford now to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. 2nd quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part, but they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Newton. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. He's just been looking for some space. You know, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit.
He's got daylight. The 30, 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And this one's back to an 8-point game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime, because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do, put a man on him. The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
On second down, it's Weber, and he's going to get this one down to the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
20. Safety's creeping.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will bump the lead up to 11. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again. Stafford. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Great. Gun.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Newton being chased out left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Good day for him so far here in the third quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards. But, hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Newton. That's to McCaffrey, complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help the team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. An agile move, but not a huge gain. Dropped at the 25. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Johnson. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Easy work. The easy work, and it's coming again.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. To throw is Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this will be taken at the 13. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
20. Check. Crunch.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A second broken tackle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a Carolina 1st down on a gain of 16.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd and 2, Newton, he's going to look deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Johnson's got it complete. And he loses the football a 2nd time.
We play it to win. Let's go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Now Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford. He gets it complete to Harris. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing again is Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. But being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
Let's see how they respond now. And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. 23 yards, the final tally. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. The tackle will be credited to Jake Ryan. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Newton. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. But I think the ball's out, and this is scooped up by the Lions.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here, you've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Back to throw, Stafford. And that is incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire time.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Brian Burns. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here. Now it's the backup Greer. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ashawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Now Newton on third and goal. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches, I always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Throwing is Stanford, and he's going to go down again. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Taken in at the 22. Checking the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth now in Minneapolis. That one is really opened up. The Vikings have just scored again. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Panthers have a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Greer. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Greer completes it to Samuel. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16.
and they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Panthers, a final win here means they'll finish off the regular season at a solid 13-4.